Hey everyone, I'm Marianne. I live here in Canada with my husband and two kids ages 6 and 7, and I make videos on simplifying life and motherhood through easy organization and decluttering. Today I am sharing with you every single item that came into our home. So last week from Friday to Friday, I tracked all the items that came into our home. I put them in our box, week of stuff, and I am going to show you everything that came in. I have done this a few times before. I have done it once and actually made a video of it for an entire month. So I did tracked everything came in for 1 month. I will link the video below of when we tracked it for a month. I've never done it for a week before, but I thought it was like a little bit more manageable, something that maybe you guys at home could try. I love doing these little experiments for two reasons. One, I feel like it is such a great reminder that, you know, if we're getting overwhelmed with the stuff in our house, if we feel like we can't keep up with the clutter, it's for a good reason. It's not like everyone, you know, is a shopaholic and, you know, is a hoarder or going to these extreme cases. It's just that here in 2024 in North America, if you live in a first world country, there's a good chance that there is a lot of stuff coming into your house every single week. I also love that doing these little experiments shows us maybe some of the tricky categories or areas that we're struggling with. You know, so those items that maybe come in, they're like, oh my gosh, like no wonder I can't keep up with our paper or the kids' toys or sports equipment for all the extracurriculars that our kids are in. A lot of times when you do an experiment like this, it is like a great kind of eye opener to see, gosh, where's all this coming from? And maybe how can we slow it down or stop it in some categories. All right, let's do it. This week, this 7-day period was absolutely not special. It is just an average week for us. There were no special occasions, no holidays, no extra days off school, and no birthdays, anything like that. The very first day was a Friday, and two things kind of happened or came in during that day. Our oldest, who's 7, went to a hockey game. Scott's dad took him and they had a great time. So much fun. He loves it. And a lot of times with these games, they give stuff away. So at this particular game, they got 2 of these fanny packs, or like crossbodies, whatever you want to call them, these 2 little bags, and he brought home one for himself and one for his sister. So we got 2 of these bags into our house last Friday. Are both absolutely full with stuff. I don't know, the most random things. An empty Pez dispenser in one of them. I have a notepad, a pen, like a slap bracelet, just in case you might need that, like roaming around, right? So anywho, these have become traps for collections. However, I know that our kids love them. They've had a ball with them all week. They've both worn them day and night. They have adored them. So you know what? Fine, I'm fine with that. And I know we have little areas, pockets of our home where I can keep these. I have been hanging them at the same spot where their backpacks and our like indoor coats go, and that's worked okay. I can easily toss those into like our toy bins or put them in their treasure drawers in their bedrooms. So there's a few spots that I know I can keep them. So those are living in our house basically indefinitely. The category I never keep track of or track during these sort of little experiments that I do is our consumables. So I don't track all of our groceries, our food, cleaning products, toilet paper, or medicine. However, I wanted to note it this time because our kids had been super sick up until this week, and we'd been like on and off getting a ton of medicine. And so I did that particular Friday end up getting eardrops and more Advil for the kids. And although this is stuff we're going to obviously use up, it's not something that we permanently have to look after for the rest of our lives. It is inventory. And although it's not like officially, like I'm not going to go through and count every, you know, box of cereal we buy, just managing what's in the kitchen, your toiletries, what's in the bathroom, your medicine cabinet. So don't discount that. Like when you're thinking, you know what, like I can't keep up, like this is so much for me. It's a big job. It's a lot to look after. So although it's not part of like officially part of my normal count or experiment, I think it's worth mentioning because it's still a big responsibility and a lot to look after. All right, Saturday was 2 big things. One, not physically big, but like 2 official things. Number 1 is we went to the store and Annie Rose, our youngest who's 6, got her first ever like full on big kid lipstick. She has a dance recital coming up. This is her 3rd dance recital she has been in, and every year she wants to wear makeup, and I'm like, no, like you are too little. It felt so weird to put it on her when she was, you know, 4 and 5. But I officially cracked this year, and I told her she could get lipstick if she wanted to, but she had to pay for it. So she got her piggy bank out, she found her $20 in coins, and she used that to buy her lipstick, which since then I have actually had to put away because she was putting it on every single morning. It is impossible to get off after it's on. We do have a spot in the bathroom that's a drawer just for her, dedicated to her, like, you know, all her little hair accessories, hairbrush, and little makeup things. So I just put it in there, and that's where it's gonna live, and we had room for it, so I was fine with it. The second thing that happened is that Leo started, our oldest started ball hockey. So it was his very first ball hockey game. So on that first day, he ended up getting his little t-shirt or jersey, and he is going to, that's something that now we have to look after. We have to wash it and maintain it. And I know we have room in our dresser, so it's not like the worst thing. It's fine. However, if we had a super like overwhelming bedroom, I know having this come in would have just been like in my back of my mind, like, oh my gosh, I got another t-shirt to manage. The second that came in was he got his little schedule, like the coach gave us a schedule with all the games on it listed. So that was a piece of paper that came into our house. As soon as I got home, I put all of these games, I double checked everything that I had in my agenda to make sure they were correct. And then this I know I can toss. I kept it in my box so that I could show in this video, but that's a piece of paper I know I do not need anymore. I'm not even gonna keep it in my agenda as backup. I'm just gonna rip it up and recycle it. On Sunday, nothing came into our house at all. It was amazing, it was lovely, it was a great day. On Monday, I had a client project that day, and I have learned over the years never to come home with donations in my car. If you have young kids and you know what they're like, if they get to like a yard sale or when they're at the dollar store, anything where there's like little items, like a trunk full of donations that I'm trying to get rid of from other people's houses, they are like moth to a flame to those things. So I have learned to never leave my donations until like the next day. I drop them off before I even get home. I don't want the kids seeing them. However, on this particular day, last minute, like we were just kind of packing up at the house, rushing out, and the client said, oh, we don't need these couple of things. And I just shoved them like on the top of my like garbage or recycle bin. And so that was in the garage. Of course, the kids spotted it, and it was an origami kit. So it was a box full of basically like small pieces of colorful paper. So again, they found it. They were instantly in love with it. And I did let them play with it because it was probably headed for recycle anyway. I know that we technically have room in our craft drawers, and it's really just pieces of paper. They're not actually following the instructions and doing origami because they are 6 and 7. However, I'm going to, now that the week is over, my experiment's done, I'm going to recycle the box that it came in. I don't need that. Put those little pieces of colorful paper in the drawer, and that's fine with me. Okay, so the next day was Tuesday, and I took the kids to the dentist. It was their first time at a big kid dentist where they got x-rays and everything. So at the end of the appointment, they both obviously got their little bag of like treats and dentist things. So they each got a new toothbrush. They each got a new thing of toothpaste, like a little mini kid toothpaste, and they each got a pack of flossers that they hopefully will use. They also each got a little toy. So Leo picked out of like the treasure bin, he picked an eraser and a pencil, and Annie Rose picked this like kind of bendy hand that sort of sticks, which is actually pretty hilarious. Not great for the environment because it will literally just become garbage to us as soon as it loses its stick, but they've had like a hoot with it all week. So it's actually been pretty funny. I mean, it's always great, I guess, to have free toothpaste and toothbrushes. We actually have a ton of toothbrushes for the kids, like probably more than they'll ever use before they become adults. Like, I honestly don't know how we've acquired this many toothbrushes. However, we have a specific spot in our bathroom where we put all of our toothbrushes, all of our toothpaste. I'm gonna take these right out of the box. I'm not even gonna leave them in there because I want them to get used. I'm kind of glad this happened during this week so I can show you guys, because so often with so many bathrooms that we're dealing with, we find these bags that have the items still in them. So I get it, like life's busy. If you get this on a chaotic morning and you don't have a set spot for all of your items to go, this will just get thrown under the sink. And like that is inevitable. That's very common. If you've done that, if that has happened to you, you are not alone. I totally get it. But simply by getting rid of the bag, putting their little toys or treasures exactly where they need to go. So we have a craft sort of little basket where all of our pens and pencils and markers go. And this will just live probably everywhere. But really, truly with this type of stuff, by simply having a designated spot for it where I know I can quickly access this when we do need to use it, when we're ready for new toothpaste, new toothbrush, then it becomes so much less stressful. It becomes like a benefit of getting these free items instead of a stressor of just like, oh my gosh, like we don't need any more of this free toothpaste. The other thing that came from that dentist, we got an actual like bill. We have a whole account statement, which is 2 pages long plus a receipt, 3 pages long plus a receipt. I got that plus I got a card, like an appointment card of when our next appointment is. So I kept this just for the experiment to show you guys the paper, but I absolutely know there is no reason for me to keep this. If I ever needed like the statement printed off again, I know I could call the doctor's office and say, hey, can you email that to me, or can you print it off and I'll pick it up? I need it for my benefits or whatever the case. But it was already paid. I paid the deductible. We're good to go. And it really, there's no reason for me to keep that. And secondly, with the appointment card, I went and put it directly into my agenda for next year. I know when our appointment is, and so I can throw that card right out as well. On Wednesday, my mom picked up the kids after school that day and they ended up going to her house. And when they go to my mom's house, they somehow inevitably come home with the most random stuff. Annie Rose walked in with this Sephora bag, which was filled with, some change. She got a quarter, a nickel. She got a pink Sharpie pen. And she also got a perfume, actually smells pretty good. So what the heck, we don't need any of this, but it just comes into our house. So what I'll probably do, the Sharpie pen we will put with our craft stuff and they can use that. The perfume, I'll either let her keep it, put it in a drawer, or I'll just give it back to my mom. A lot of the stuff that comes from my mom's house, I put directly into like our stuff basket or like returns basket. And I know next time she's coming, I'm just like, here's all your stuff back, Mom. Like, we don't need any of your random stuff. And then the coins, I'll just put directly into Annie Rose's little piggy bank. And then the bag, I will either recycle or I'll put into our like tote of gift bags, depending on how full that is right now. It's kind of a good small size, so I might actually keep it. And the other thing Mom gave me was an article to read in our like national newspaper. It's probably something to do with the environment, probably. So she thought I would love it. So I'll go ahead. I haven't read it yet because I kept this in our box for experiment, but I will read it and then instantly, unless I need to keep it for something, I'm just going to recycle it. Lastly, on Thursday was all the stuff that came home in the kids' backpacks, which is 99% paper and 99% stuff I do not keep. Leo this particular week also brought home a Menchie spoon. No idea why. Did it end up like he borrowed it from a friend or someone else, some other kid like ended up in our backpack? I don't know. Did they go to Menchie's with the teacher? I have no idea. I didn't ask. I guess I don't really care. However, these spoons are actually pretty good for like reusable spoons. So I have a kids bin, which I've shown before in our kitchen with all of our like sort of plastic like straws and plastic cutlery. So I'm gonna put that in there and I'll probably just send it in his lunch one day. And if I end up losing it, I'm not too worried about it. We also got a little thing in our backpacks about doing like the babysitter training course, which our kids are obviously not ready for. So that I know I can recycle right away. And then I got a million like little worksheets, Earth Day, drawings that Annie Rose, sometimes it's not even ones that they did. Their friends will do drawings for them and put them in their backpacks. So like tons, like they're very cute, but my kids didn't even draw them. So we really don't need to keep them. All of Leo's little spelling tests that I get every single week. And more random worksheets that I can tell like no one actually put too much effort into it. I know I can get rid of them and no one will even notice. So this entire stack of paper plus the other few pieces of paper I mentioned are all gonna go directly in the recycling, and those are like all the fewer items I have to deal with. So please remember, if you are overwhelmed or finding it to be just so much with everything that comes in every week, it is not your fault. It is super common, and go easy on yourself. With that being said, making those decisions right away about items that are coming to your house right away. If you know you don't need them or you do not want them, you recycle, you toss, you put them into your donation bin, you put them in your returns bin, you give them back to whoever gave them to you, whatever you need to do to get them into your house, out of your house right away, so you're not looking at them, staring at them, kicking them around for 6 months in your house before dealing with them. As always, I so appreciate you watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe for more, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye guys.